Hello, I'm Rachael Door and I'm an anatomy lecturer at Keele University in Staffordshire, England. We've introduced a number of changes to our anatomy teaching within the medical curriculum, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about our traffic light system of pre-work that has resulted in a huge change to the way our students approach their learning. At Keele, we try and keep our dissection room as an active learning environment rather than a didactic space. The challenge this produces is that learning anatomy involves literally learning a new language. If the active learning environment of the dissection room is the first time students hear complex terminology, they can really struggle to follow the dissection process and become disengaged with the learning opportunity. We therefore decided that we needed to shift the focus of the session, almost like a flipped classroom approach, so that students acquired some core aspects of the knowledge prior to the session and then were able to apply this in the practical setting. When people, and particularly students, hear the term pre-work, this is quite often what comes to mind, a dusty pile of textbooks which you have to pore over for hours. This is not how pre-work has to be, and I think it's really important to highlight all the different ways students can prepare for a dissection session, or indeed any active learning session. So this is where the concept of the traffic light system came in. We wanted to highlight some key ways in which students can prepare for their sessions and rank these in order of importance so that they don't feel overwhelmed and respond by ignoring it all. When we had our curriculum review in 2018, we introduced workbooks for our medical students in years 1 to 3. Typically, these contain tasks for the students to work through in their practical sessions, as well as helpful resources. The students are provided with these as a physical copy they can use in their session and as a digital resource available on Blackboard. When we decided that we needed to shift the focus of the sessions and introduce structured pre-work, we developed new sheets for the student workbooks. At the start of the workbook, the ethos of the anatomy sessions is stated, and students are guided through how to use the workbook. Resources shown in red are mandatory. Those in amber are recommended for before the session but can be reviewed after the session, and those in green contain additional information that will support their learning. Here we can see the pages that relate to the Year 2 session on the liver, gallbladder and pancreas. At Keele, we use a spiral curriculum so the students actually encounter these structures in their first year, and then they revisit them in second year with a more clinical focus. On the front page for each session, we have the pre-work that the students are expected to do. Here we can see the mandatory material in red is to review the content from their first year session on the structures and to watch a series of video clips. The amber recommended material is reading specific pages in 2 course textbooks, and the green supplementary material is reviewing the relevant lecture from first year. So the first step is for the students to either use the QR code on their physical handbook or follow the hyperlink in the digital version to access the specific Ackland's Atlas of Anatomy videos. This resource uses cadaveric material to explain the core concepts in the session. In addition to the videos, the transcript for the recording is also available. This is really important to ensure the material is as accessible for all our students. Next, the students progress to the recommended section of the pre-work. Here, the students can use the digital version of the handbook to access the ebooks via a hyperlink that takes them to the specific section. The digital versions of these textbooks provided by Lippincott, Williams and Wilkins Health Library also have the option to read the text aloud.
Peritoneum and peritoneal cavity. The peritoneum is a glistening, transparent serous membrane that consists of 2 continuous layers. Parietal peritoneum, lining the internal surface of the abdomen and pelvic wall.
LWW also provide access to a digital version of Grant's Dissector, which again has the read aloud option.
Introduction. The abdomen is the portion of the trunk between the thorax and the pelvis. Superiorly, the abdominal cavity is physically divided from the thoracic cavity by the diaphragm.
Finally, the students are advised to review any relevant lectures that relate to the session. These are provided on Blackboard as PowerPoint slides with the transcript in the notes section. In addition, they're provided as recorded lectures on Microsoft Stream with an automatically generated transcript and timecodes with hyperlinks. These changes have had a positive impact on both the students and the staff leading the sessions. Staff are able to ensure that students are actively dissecting in the session and are therefore getting an opportunity to consolidate their theoretical knowledge by applying it to 3D structures. In addition, students are given greater guidance as to what is expected of them and how much detail they should be studying a particular concept in. This is particularly important in a PBL-based curriculum as we have at Keele. Finally, the increasing student numbers seen on medicine courses could easily overburden staff who would need to spend ever-increasing time didactically teaching complex concepts. The use of guided pre-work ensures that the focus is shifted back onto the students and how they prepare for a practical session. In summary, we have found that promoting pre-work is essential for a successful dissection-based active anatomy session. In addition, clear guidance needs to be given as to what resources are mandatory, recommended, and supplementary prior to the session in order to maximise student engagement and prevent burnout. Thank you for your time.